Title: I had been suffering from headaches for years. To find out the cause, I went in for an MRI. During the scan, the doctor's expression changed. What is this doing here? My heart began to race. Start. I used to think the headaches were punishment, for trusting too much, for not seeing what was right in front of me. They started small, a dull throb behind my right eye, spreading across my skull like a quiet warning. I ignored it for years, until one morning the pain felt different, sharper, heavier, like something alive was moving inside me. That's what sent me to the MRI lab. The room was cold, the kind of sterile silence that forces you to hear your own thoughts. I lay still inside the machine, counting the seconds between each pulse of noise. Then I saw it, the doctor's face through the glass window. The way his brow folded, the way his mouth whispered something to the nurse. And then that question, what is this doing here? My heart stopped. When he showed me the screen, I didn't breathe. It wasn't a tumor. It wasn't a cyst. It was something else. A small, foreign object, perfectly round, metallic, embedded deep behind my left ear. I couldn't speak. He asked me if I'd had any surgeries before, any implants, accidents. I said no, none. But I knew exactly when it got there. I used to work with her, Dr. Mira Khalid, my mentor, my friend, the woman who taught me how to read brainwave patterns like music. We'd been partners in a research lab, studying neurofeedback devices. She called them mind anchors, experimental implants meant to record subconscious responses. I helped her design the prototype. I trusted her enough to test it on myself. She said it was harmless, a simple scan, no implant, no risk, just observation. I believed her because she smiled when she lied. A few months after that test, the headaches began. Mira had moved on, started her own company, NeuroVale, and suddenly became a name on every investor's tongue. My designs, my equations, my notes, all mysteriously appeared in her patents. I tried confronting her once. She brushed me off, said I was overreacting. You always imagine betrayal where there is none, she said with that same calm smile. It's your flaw. That night, the pain in my head burned so violently that I almost fainted. It wasn't just guilt anymore. It was invasion. After the MRI, I demanded the full report. The implant was there, a prototype microchip, identical to the one I designed years ago. But with one difference, this one wasn't just recording data, it was transmitting it. I checked the frequencies, cross-referenced them. Every single neural spike, every dream, every thought fragment had been sent to her. She'd been mining my mind for years. That realization didn't break me, it focused me. Revenge wasn't immediate, it couldn't be. Mira was powerful now, respected, protected. I had to be patient. So I smiled when I saw her at conferences, shook her hand, let her think I'd moved on. Meanwhile, I built my plan in silence. First, I studied her work, every patent, every paper, every breakthrough. I found the patterns I'd created hidden under new names. Then I began planting seeds. Quietly, a few small, deliberate mistakes in my online publications, wrong datasets uploaded under my name, the kind that look like accidental leaks, but were actually bait. Within months, NeuroVale started integrating that data into their new line of implants. I knew she couldn't resist. She'd built her empire on theft, and she would keep stealing if I kept feeding her. I partnered with an investigative journalist pretending to be a disillusioned insider. I leaked details, patents, internal memos, trial data, enough to raise suspicion, not enough to burn my cover. The journalist started asking questions publicly, government bodies started sniffing around, investors got nervous. Then I struck. I scheduled a private meeting with Mira under the pretense of reconciliation. Her office was all glass, clean lines, silver light. She looked calm, composed, untouchable. "I missed this," she said, pouring coffee. "I know," I replied. I slid a small USB across her desk. "Everything you stole from me. I want it back." She laughed. "You're still on about that?" Then I played the audio file. Her own voice, years ago, giving orders to her assistant. "Don't tell him about the implant. Just say it's part of the scan. We need real-time emotional mapping." Her face drained of color. "What do you want?" she whispered. "Nothing," I said. "You'll give yourself what you deserve." And I left. 2 days later, the story broke. The journalist released a full exposé, complete with documents, recordings, and the medical scans I'd accidentally leaked. Neurovale's stock crashed overnight. Her investors turned on her. The board suspended her license. They raided her lab, found hundreds of illegal implants, some still transmitting. They called it the largest neural ethics violation in medical history. I called it symmetry. The headaches didn't stop immediately. The doctors removed the implant, but they said there might be residual damage. I didn't care. Every throb reminded me of what I'd endured and what I'd overcome. Mira tried to contact me once after her arrest. A letter, handwritten. It said, "You could have joined me. We could have been gods." I burned it without reading the rest. Last week, I visited the lab where it all began. The old machines still hummed in the dark, like memories refusing to die. I stood in the same spot where she once smiled at me, promising greatness. I looked at the chair where I'd sat, the day she placed that thing inside me. And I realized something. She didn't just steal my ideas. She tried to own me. But she forgot one simple rule. The mind always fights back. I still keep the MRI image, not as a wound, as proof. Proof that even in silence, I was never powerless. That even when they think they've buried you under their lies, there's always a way to dig back up. Sharper, colder, smarter. She thought she'd buried a spy in my head. She ended up planting her own destruction instead. And every time I close my eyes now, the silence inside my skull feels lighter, quieter, free. Because I finally took back what was mine, thought by thought, nerve by nerve. And I left her with exactly what she gave me, a lifetime of pain she can never escape. Not in her head, not in her mind, not anymore.